Today's seminar is on the STOMP technique. This is the first of the 7 core practices. It will enable you to call up and execute a process to address what's going on in your brain in any given moment. And it's fundamental. It's fundamental to suffer less, to savor more, to build a sense of all right now, and to carry out the other 6 practices. This is the 6th seminar in the series and corresponds to chapter 3 in the book. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. With the brain scrambling to keep up with the roar of the day, you need a readily accessible, robust process that gets you out of your racing mind and gain perspective. That process has to direct your attention to the present moment, enable you to identify the target or construct that you want to address, alter it to a more skillful response, boost your well-being and sense of all right now, and obviously the goal is for it to become an established neural pattern or a habit so you don't have to do it anymore. Piece of cake, right? We accomplish all this by stomping. STOMP is an acronym which stands for stop, take a breath, observe, mindfully shift, and pat your back. And it has this wonderful somatic aspect because you can do it every time you put your foot down. We're going to go through each step. Let's start with stop. Throughout the day, no matter what, stop. It's going to feel abrupt and unnatural at first. Your brain won't like it. It disrupts the normal course of brain function. The brain thinks it's too busy. No time to stop. Got to keep moving. It has to treat each moment as your survival at stake. And if not the present one, definitely the next one. Realize you have the time to stop. Just do it. The next step is to observe. At first, observe is a top-down or conscious process. It will feel a bit mechanical. You may even want to put together some kind of checklist of questions. But what is there to observe? Well, first, there's the physical world. What you actually see, hear, taste, smell, and touch. There's also body sensations, thirst, hunger, pain, muscle movement, the need to pee. Secondly, there's the perceptual world that your brain is constructing. Thoughts, stories, beliefs, self-talk, presumptions, intuition. And there's body sensations associated with that. Reactions, emotions, anxiety, suffering. There's also the wandering mind. You may be lost in the past or fantasizing about something in the future. And finally, there's also the aspirational and intentional aspects of who you want to be and how you want to be. And of course, there's always the dissonance or harmony between these different worlds, the physical world and the perceptual world and the aspirational world, the past and the present. There's countless possibilities, but in any given moment, only a few are predominant and relevant to your particular experience. To save time, at the close of the seminar, there will be a page of questions and possible answers that you can stop and examine. Whatever you observe, identify and label it so you can recall it later. Observation skills improve with practice. To observe is to be curious, to reveal, to uncover. It's not an inquisition. Your brain will open up more if it's in a safe, non-judgmental, and relaxed environment. Approach observing with a childlike curiosity. Become a connoisseur of understanding all that's going on in the current moment. It's well worth it. The next step is to mindfully shift. To shift is to alter or redirect the identified target to a preferred response. Or you might start a new response. There's 3 elements to a shift. The shift signal, the assessment of the target condition, and then the execution of the tactic. The shift signal lets your brain know a change is coming to its routine. It's like giving a young child who's playing with friends a signal 2 minutes before it's time to leave. The shift signal could be a word, a phrase, a somatic cue, a sound, the shift itself. It can even be the identified target. Assessment of the target's condition. The condition in any particular moment impacts how you are able to shift. Obviously, if you're seething with anger and ready to explode, you're not going to be able to say, oh, I think I'll just calm down and approach it in a different way. It's helpful to think of the condition in terms of its phase and charge. Every reaction goes through 4 phases sequentially: a trigger, a buildup, a peak, and a reconsolidation. There's also a charge in any given moment, and that charge can be mild, moderate, intense, or receding. Now, the charge can vary depending on the phase, so it doesn't follow sequentially all the time. Of course, it's more complex than that. The length of time of any phase, there can be multi-layering of reactions. One reaction can trigger another reaction. But in any given moment, when you look for phase and charge, you will quickly see the condition of the current reaction. You will end up creating specific shifts for specific targets in any given moment. However, there are 6 generic shifts you can deploy depending on the target's condition. Always shift, realizing situations sometimes change, is a good way to remember what those 6 are. And here they are right now. Air out. Typically the phase is peak, the charge is intense, and the action is to just breathe and hang on. The second one is study. The phase is peak and build up, the charge moderate to intense, and the action is to study and learn from it, step back and don't become it. The third one is redirect. That's when the phase is in the build-up phase, the charge is moderate, just let it pass, redirect it to the preferred response. And you may find that a lot of your reactions fall into this category. The fourth one is stop and pop. It's in the trigger or build-up phase, it's a mild to moderate charge, and these are small annoyances that you can just nip in the bud, just don't go there, and respond as preferred. These tend to build up during a day, so you want to be careful for them. The fifth one is start and sustain, trigger phase, a mild charge, and this is when you're doing exactly what you want to do. You want to savor it, enrich it, and go to pat on your back. Last shift is coach. It occurs during the reconsolidation phase. The charge is receding. It's a good time to review what happened, good or bad, and plan what you will do for the next opportunity. Here are a few tips on mindfully shifting. First, accept and allow whatever is present to exist. It's okay. It's better when all aspects of the target are revealed. It doesn't mean you have to let it take control of you, but rather let everything be present. There's a huge difference between I am angry and I am having an angry feeling. Second, remember that your brain is just doing what it has evolved to do. It's sending you messages according to past memories to protect you. So it's not just the way I am. It's just the way my brain has guessed that I should be based on what it recalls. And finally, it's often necessary to observe a target multiple times before you can shift. Rushing to shift too soon can cause the brain to repress whatever reaction it normally has, and you won't be able to change it. Approach shift gently, do it repetitiously and with persistence, and I think you'll be surprised with the result. The last step is pat your back. It's important to celebrate each stomp, no matter what the outcome is. The brain craves positive reinforcement and avoids negative reinforcement. I often think of results are as easy as pie. You can recognize progress, initiative, and effort. Even if the result of the stomp is, well, I'm not going to do that one again, you've learned something and it's cause for celebration. Recognizing the benefits from the experience in multiple ways helps the brain strengthen and retain the pattern. So how do you take in the good and make it last? The HEAL process, another acronym, HEAL, was developed by Rick Hansen, and it's a very simple and effective way to do this. The H stands for have a positive experience. Every time you stomp, it's a positive experience. You're taking control of how you are reacting to what happens in your life. E stands for enrichment. Enrich it by savoring the experience. Let it fill you up and add some kind of somatic effect. Maybe a fist bump or a kick or, hey, I feel good about myself. The A stands for absorb it. Imagine it warming you. You're starting to make changes to be just the way you want to be. I sometimes think about it as adding a deposit to my well-being account. The L stands for link it. Connect it to a target or the particular shift signal or the image of you at your best. So that's how you stomp. You stop, take a breath, mindfully shift, and pat your back. Of course, there are alternatives. STOMP was a direct outgrowth from the cognitive behavioral therapy STOP, where you stop, take a breath, observe, and proceed mindfully. I found I needed to elaborate on the tail end of the STOP in order to make it work for me. Another alternative is RAIN, which was created by Michelle McDonald, modified and popularized by Tara Brach, where you recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. The key is to find a process that works for you and start doing it. The more you start doing it now, the easier it will be to actually change your neural patterns in the future. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but there is no way I have the time to do this in the heat of the moment. This explanation in this seminar takes far longer than it does to do this in practice. Once stomping is a habit, i.e. it has strong neural patterns, you'll be aware of more that's going on in any given moment. You recognize what your brain is constructing earlier and earlier in its phase. You will be astounded how certain thoughts, habits, feelings, reactions, mind wanderings dominate your experience and your time. Uncovering these things is the second core practice. It's called Unraveling Old Ways. I hope you join me for it.